Getting shot, that was the biggest obstacle, I should say. I got shot twice in the hospital, you know, the doctors, the Lord, God, they got me through it. My family got me through it, you know, rehabilitation got me through it. But getting shot was the biggest obstacle I ever had to go through.
Quitting using drugs and alcohol. It's almost impossible to do, you know, quitting those habits. I mean, you know, death, you know, suicide, you know, goes on for years and years. Alcohol and drug use, you know, quitting those habits. But I did it, you know. Yeah, I got really tired of the drinking and drugs, and I quit. It went on for like 2 or 3 years, you know, after I quit. You know, depression, sleeplessness, you know, death, you know, I'm a drug addict and alcohol. I'm recovered, you know. I want to live another 5, 10, 15 years. I'll be drug-free, you know.
The question that you had was, what was one of the most difficult times of my life? I would have to say that I have a twin brother, and he and I are very close. And when we were younger, we were abused physically, not sexually, but we had a really big fear, and still to this day, we do step back, we have fear. Fortunately, my mother moved us out, and we ended up living in the low-income housing in San Luis Obispo, and we met a lot of friends and my mom's coworkers, and it was a village of people who got us successfully through high school and college, and I'm always so grateful for that.
Things that you're going through now that are difficult, because everybody's going through something, right? Is there anything that you can take away from what you've learned and apply it to what you're going through now?
Yeah, absolutely. Just appreciating the little things, and being grateful for what we do have, and to stay close to friends and family and keep in contact, and go to the beach and enjoy nature.
Recently, actually, so last year my grandmother passed away March 1st, so that took a real big heartbreak on me. And I really been going through emotions for real, just really mourning different ways, you know, trying to cope with the feeling. I know she's still with us here in the spirit, but to lose someone that close, that was like my second mother, so that took a really big tear on me.
How did you get through it?
Really being with family, spending more time with family, you know. Being around my loved ones, that really helped me through.
Okay, so the most difficult thing I've been through in my life is homelessness, which I've been in it in different states, in Nebraska, in Arizona, Maine, and now here in California. And part of the reason it's so hard is because, like, Mother Nature, basically, like sleeping outside, it gets really cold at night, and I'm affected by the cold very easily, and a lot of people just, they ignore you and they walk by you and they don't want to talk to you, and it's just extremely judgmental. And then there's also people, though, that will walk by you and they'll just give you like a good vibration, but it's still hard because people don't offer you support. And I've also noticed that a lot of people that work in like homeless shelters and resources for people who have no home or have no food or have no clothes, they suck at their job, they're slow at their job, they're lazy at their job, and it makes me question why they signed up to do this kind of work in the first place. They become violent with people who are expressing their, you know, internal turmoil, and they become aggressive with them instead of, you know, reaching out to calm them down. And, you know, also I've had experiences with drugs, and one of the hardest things I ever did was being homeless after my experience with methamphetamines when I was 21. I started hearing voices, and I started hearing very dark things about human nature that I never wanted to know about. And they're things that I don't hear those things anymore, and I've been off of that drug for 4 years now. And I don't ever want to go back to it, but there are people that come up to me all the time asking me if I want some or if I have some, and I don't. And but I still sense that type of nature around me a lot, and it's very confusing.
So Jack, how would you say you've gotten through this? What has kept you through it?
Singers that I like. My favorite singers, I would say, my uncle has helped a little bit. My dad helps a little bit. My cousin Shelby has helped recently. And just like the hope of like having a better future, basically.
I'm gonna be vulnerable here. I was in a relationship for 2 years with a man, and I ended up getting pregnant, and he didn't want to have the child, so he kind of forced me to get an abortion. And the biggest thing I learned from that was that through death comes new life. And nature taught me that. When things die, they don't necessarily disappear, they just evolve into something different, into something beautiful. And I got through that by feeling it. I got through it by crying, by going on rampages, expressing my rage, but then finally forgiving myself for not knowing better in the moment, and loving myself through that, knowing that I'm still deserving of having a beautiful life after something like that has happened, and still deserving of motherhood as well.